man, this is going to be a hype game in Russia.
You know, when old chat's coming out like that, obviously.
It's friendly.
It's a friendly, quote-unquote friendly match here between these two teams. No doubt. I am honestly genuinely curious, too, as far as who the crowd's going to be behind, right? Because, as you mentioned, two kind of hometown teams. Now, obviously, Virtus.pro, the bigger, more successful team overall, but people love the story dog. That's what I love.
You know, you got to get into some of that Navi flame while you're at it. I mean, these are two top teams right in a major right now. You know, you have some room to talk.
We're having some fun here. All right, we got some drafts, obviously, about us. And the laning phase coming about us. The crowd definitely gets hype overall, ready for the series. Kunkka, though, you know, their cap suggested it as a possibility. Now, Virtus.pro not usually a Kunkka team. They did lose to LGD, obviously, to be in this point in the first place, which happened to play Kunkka a couple of those games. So perhaps taken from that, you think?
Yeah, they don't have, besides Chen, they have zero save, right? Like, the Chen sent home and the Chen heal is about all they have. If that Kunkka gets an X on you, you're going to get hit by that boat, and it's going to be scary. On the other side of things, I like what Kat was talking about with that Wind Ranger. Abba just almost nullifies that hero for multiple heroes. And we've seen Ramses on that life stealer. He can lose the early game. One of the few heroes he sometimes loses early game with, and then he just farms and takes over a game.
Wind Ranger getting caught here initially by Crystal Maiden. Going to be fun in the end, but obviously some back and forth harassment between them as the lanes come about. So it looks like it's going to be the Wind Ranger as well as Nonkrot on the Night Stalker up here at the top lane. And Solo, again, play the Crystal Maiden. I mean, let's talk about that for a second once again. Crystal Maiden, not your most usual scene support. They did point out Secret ran it once, I think, during the event. Personally, I think it's a better support than people like to give her credit for, but there's a reason we don't see her often.
Yeah, and you see some of the weakness, right? He was already out of mana up top. Like, already out of mana. What do you do? Pop a Clarity, then you just can't stay in the lane or else you'll get hit. It feels a little bit weak, but obviously versus Chen, it's decent. Versus Wind Ranger, it's decent. Man, Iceberg's hitting a lot of level 1 stuns on no one right now, but Tidebringer, a very good tool of harassment as well.
Yeah, not the easiest to do right there, but so far, fairly successful. And then you got your bottom lane matchup, Abaddon versus the Gyrocopter. Coming to Iceberg, hitting a little low, and he's going to go down. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, I guess he's fine. Then the Tidebringer comes out.
Oh, yeah, it's good at harassment as well as getting killed. Oh, my goodness, the angle on that, too. You've got one side, the Wind Ranger. You've seen some crazy shackle shot angles, but that was perfect. Hit him with the circumference.
Yeah. We've seen some big hits coming out of Kunkka, of course, you know, especially later on in the game. But this early on, you don't necessarily expect to see players caught off guard like that. But clearly it did for Iceberg. So well played by no one, though. The 1-0 start as we approach the 2-minute mark into this game. But yeah, that top lane, very unique top lane, the Night Stalker Wind Ranger.
And the support Wind Ranger. Yeah, bottom lane, I've been hearing a lot of pros say Chen has to go to the off lane to just create space. But I like how they've been playing. We've seen it a lot in this tournament, actually. Maybe it's a new patch, but a ton of safe lane Chens have come back, and you just harass out the other 4.
Oh, that was pretty close right there. The homing missile coming in, but Roger gets the TP off. That, I think, Sand King, by the way, is the most important hero to mention. Paul was stressing that for good reason. Virtus.pro, Roger
in general, I
think it was like 14-0, 16-0, something like that. The point is undefeated with many, many of games. So already, you know, an issue that FlyToMoon is having to deal with here. But
you see him fall behind in levels and farm quite a bit in these games, but he wins games because they'll just go open up a lane, they'll just 4-man rotate somewhere else, and usually you make room for a core, right? They make room for Roger a lot of the time.
They're going for Wind Ranger. Frostbite comes out, trying to run, using that power shot. Ramsey sitting on top, maybe a couple more auto attacks will do him in. There's one for Crystal Maiden, and there is one from the Lifestealer. Solo taking credit for the kill, but they get the turn kill on a Lifestealer. Nonkrot doing a good job. Says, you know what, we may lose our support, but we're going to take out your core. That's exactly what they do.
It looked like Ramsey's really wanted the last hit there. I think he could have hit a little bit sooner right there and maybe ran back to the tower, but either way, a nice trade there for FlyToMoon. Man, no one, I'm just looking, 13-5 versus 16-2. Pretty even matchup, but you do have that first blood, which is, what, 300 or so gold. That's a wave and a half.
Yeah. So Iceberg, though, point is, CS-wise, looking pretty good. In fact, look at the CS right now for FlyToMoon. Top 3 all belong on their side with the gyro, and how about that? Nonkrot on the Night Stalker. Again, that was a final pick Night Stalker. I kind of agree with the panel that, you know, we're trying to figure out the exact reason as to why, you know, that hero, but clearly it's working out in the laning phase at least.
I just like how strong they're going to be in the first nighttime, right? You have Chen who's just going to roam around with creeps. You have the Night Stalker as well. Like, it's going to be full pressure on the map.
maybe that's the big thing that you're getting at. It's kind of not necessarily an all-in strategy, but you are right. Getting the Night Stalker, I'm guessing at least level 3 by now. And in fact, already level 4. That's scary, man, as the nighttime is going to be approaching in just a matter of seconds now.
Man, always want to fly, just bullying solo as well as Ramsey. I told you about Ramses. He struggles in the early game with Lifestealer. It's one of the few heroes.
No one, a Fairy Fire pop, but out comes the lightning, and down goes Kunkka with the final auto attack. So they just chase him down. Obviously, great rotation happening as well. Top lane Ramses. We do see our first nighttime, and sure enough, Nongrata throwing out that void, which currently is level 2, of course.
Yeah, Roger, he's just gonna TP top, try to stop a gank. They're actually still going, but oh, the freeze.
They're diving for this, though. You got to be careful. Yeah, Solo's in trouble now. Here comes Ramses to help Roger with the initial stun. Nongrata wants that kill on Solo. They're going to make it happen with the Lightning Storm, and now Nongrata can run away. Now it's actually the trap onto Roger. Roger doesn't have a getaway. The Burrow Strike's on cooldown still. He will go down. Fighting into a Night Stalker at the first nighttime when he's level 4, it just seems like a dangerous thing.
Yeah, this is the best, right? Chen can send him home, and you don't know where he's going to go, right? Night Stalker does not have to waste a TP or run home. They don't know where he's going to show up in the next 5 seconds. And Night Stalker could easily get another kill bottom, could show up middle. Just see these little things. I love the Chen Night Stalker just in that early game, this first nighttime. Feels so strong.
It's a very early game strategy. The question is, you know, how will that keep up, of course, throughout this game? Do you think, are you fearing that that could be an issue for FlyToMoon, or do you think
absolutely.
It can scale?
Bro, we've seen Ramses time and time again. You give him 2, 3, 4 minutes of free farm, all of a sudden armlet radiance kind of thing, and who knows, but they're keeping the pressure up right now.
They sure are. They're going to keep running at him right now. Doesn't have any supports. It looks like Roger is making his way over as the penitence goes up, but of course he's going to walk it off as the silence is on him, but doesn't really matter. Hugging that tower. Roger will find Shen, but doesn't really do anything about it for now. Doesn't want to waste that Burrow Strike, and again, with that Night Stalker nearby, you got to be careful with the choices you make.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I mean, I talked about it, Roger doesn't get levels early, and then he gets a free lane. Like, he would have gotten a kill up top if he was level 3, but he was only level 2 at that level 1 stun. It just feels like Ramses and Roger a little bit falling behind, and they're both gonna have to catch up.
Yeah, bottom lane, meanwhile, it's been basically a 1 versus 1, hasn't it? You have Pasha down there against Silent playing the Gyrocopter. So right now it's Gyro at 31 and 12, Abaddon 26 and 4. So
not bad.
Not too surprising to see the Gyro.
And we've seen Abba, right? You get that helmet of Dominant, you get something like a Solar Crest, or even Vlad's if you want, and you just take over team fights just because you're just around. Like, teams are scared to fight into you because you get one shield save. I mean, we saw Solo on that last game on the Oracle. You get one save, the whole game turns around. Abba is a lot like that.
Now, Lifestealer builds this event have been interesting to kind of realize.
We've seen a lot,
Before this, we've seen the Radiance first item. That seemed like was a go-to build for a while here. As Hold On Thought, because Abaddon on his bottom lane, he doesn't have borrowed time, as you mentioned. He's going to try to get himself denied, if anything, but always want to fly. Will take credit. Ramses is in, but he can't do much about that. The rage wearing off. He has to just walk it off and, well, apparently dance it off. Roger goes down, meanwhile, at the top lane of the Night Stalker and the Chen army. We have a 6-2 start in favor of FlyToMoon already.
How are we doing? Man, always want to fly on the support Wind Ranger. They were talking about Iceberg, but always want to fly. He dominated top lane. He ruined Solo's early clarities. He just harassed Ramses. Then he rotates bottom right before Abba gets 6 and gets that kill. You're not going to get that kill any other time but then.
Yeah. You do see Ramses down here trying to make up some farm now, but once again, rotation's happening. Chen in the area has a helper smasher back to the top lane. We see Pasha taking the damage, still not level 6. Kunkka is TPing in, though Silent is very low on life himself. Solo does go down to the bottom lane while this is happening, so we definitely have 2 different fights. The ship coming out as well. No Fear goes down himself. Nongrata got to try to block, if anything, running away, and the shield put on no one, preventing the silence, but it's not going to be enough of a chase, it seems like. So, yeah, obviously there was the bottom fight taking place, and it was a Chen for a Crystal Maiden down there.
Whatever. As long as Chen's creeps don't die, he's probably fine with that. True. He's like, you know, the creeps are the big part of that. But still, Ramses finally gets a little bit of time, but the clap comes out. You just, if you're FlyToMoon, just keep the pressure up on Ramses. Keep it up on top lane as well. Obviously, nighttime, going to be at an end soon. But Nongrata has gotten a lot done already.
So going back to Lifestealer, the armlet into the Radiance has kind of been the build, I feel like. Is there any reason why you would expect to see a Radiance first, or the armlet's just too good, you think?
I mean, the armlet's good this game, but there's a ton of magic damage, right? You get armlet because it helps you fight early, but you also get that armor. And the armor, not the strongest this game, but I mean, what else would you go? You could go like Tread's drums or something. We've seen drums a few times on Lifestealer, but it's not really a Ramses.
Yeah. No, drums for the Kunkka, even the Abaddon also, you know, pretty routine pickup. So, yeah, definitely expecting more of that armlet, if I would have to guess. Ramses, so again, he's going to be pressured right here. This is not a free farming Lifestealer by any means. In fact, he is all the way 6th on the chart currently when it comes to net worth.
Tiny Abba.
He's doing pretty well, but yeah, he's behind a couple of his teammates that they need to. I mean, they've already rotated him. They can't rotate him back to the top lane, can they?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They're rotating 4 heroes down bottom to help him, though.
It is daytime. Oh, never mind. Darkness comes out. Nightstalker changing that. He's going to take the frostbite, though. He's trying to fly away, but he can't. They collapse with 4 different heroes. There is support coming in. Nagrada taking the damage. Here comes Silent, as well as the expert spot on no one. Put it on Nightstalker right there, but no one's trying to run. He gets hit by the Split Earth, however, and the Rocket Barrage in the face. The heal's not going to be enough. He will go down. Roger also falls as well. They did kill Nightstalker, but they lose 2 in response, and Solo is running away. Shackle shot? No, they're just going to power shot forward. And
get his vision and throw on the right side, though.
Yeah, they did. There's the Shackle and the eventual auto attack to finish the job. Silent gets the double kill. No doubt working beautifully for FlyToMoon. I mean, that was 4 heroes on Nightstalker initially, and he tanked that damage.
I love that the Chen hasn't been really involved in these early fights. Usually he's one of the big ones. Even send the creeps down there. He's just been split pushing top, getting some farm for himself, has Medallion, but now he's in a little bit of a pickle.
You were just about to say that, and he actually is going to get out.
The Medallion, that armor.
Yeah, Medallion, the Satyr regen, no doubt helping there as well, so. Wow, that's a big escape, honestly, because that was a bit of an investment in Virtus Pro. You know, figuring, okay, well, at least we'll kill Chen. That doesn't even happen, so the momentum continues.
You got to keep it up, though. You have to keep up the pressure. If you just sit still, sit tight for just 2 or 3 minutes, Roger as well as Ramses will get them back into this game.
Yeah, speaking of that, Roger specifically, that Blink Dagger on Sand King.
It's a while away.
It's a while away, exactly. That's what I was going to suggest right there. Not the best start for him. He's also only level 4, as is Crystal Maiden. So both supports on Virtus Pro's side really under level. That is not good news. I mean, and Ramsey's level, okay, he's going to be level 7 there, but again, his farm continues to struggle. He continues to go to the bottom lane. I kind of ask you again, is that really the best case here?
I think you kind of have to, right? If you go top lane, you get a kill on, you just take the tower. They have more vision bottom lane, and they have to play around their vision. But look at that, ward's going to get countered.
Always want to fly. The ship, it will connect, but with Silent nearby, no one cannot commit for the kill. In fact, he needs to be worried about dying himself. Call down Solo. Will put the frostbite on, trying to run. The lightning storm hits, though. The power shot through.
God.
And Iceberg will finish the job.
Support Wind Ranger level 7 already. That power shot, obviously the buffs, is doing so much. He like 2 shots are now.
Yeah.
That poor Crystal Maiden.
Iceberg a little beefier. Does have help with the Shackle shot nearby. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. The open wounds TP, they don't have a stopper. Again, we saw it at the top lane, which we see it here with Leshrac.
And this was a big problem in their last game too, right? Mineski dominated the early game because they had so many stuns, and what VP had? They had like a Tusk Snowball, and that was it. And you see these lack of stuns hurt VP a lot.
And Nightstalker already has the Urn finish. Again, not often we can see this really heavily farmed Nightstalker. And you know, in this game happens to be 4th overall, but doing very well. But hey, his teammates, both Iceberg and Silent, topping the charts. Haven't really seen Iceberg for a little bit with his build, but I'm sure it's coming along pretty nicely. Nagrada, he gets away. He saw that coming. He's so fast at nighttime with the darkness, of course. No chance right there. In fact, they want to go for turn kill now. Speaking of Iceberg, Silent does get the kill on Ramses meanwhile. You see no one's in trouble. Got hit by the Split Earth on it too. Great setup right there. Down goes no one. Roger, he's silenced this whole time. Finally gets his Pearl Strike off onto the ledge, as well as the Euphonic Shield, but Nagrada's going to hunt him down with the Hunter of the Night and take the kill himself. And like I was talking about, though, Silent gets the kill bottom lane. It's falling apart for VP, I gotta say.
Yeah, it feels like you just see that gold change so big for even the supports. Now, they haven't even pressured towers, right? When you pick a Chen, you're like, we're gonna push these towers early, but they're just controlling the lane. If they take these tier 1s too early, right, the lane will almost always be pushed, and Ramses will be able to farm. By not taking these towers before 10 minutes, it actually was a good thing for FlyToMoon.
Now they're gonna do just that, no fear. With his army here to help push that tier 1 tower. It doesn't seem like VP's any bit interested in defending it. They have 4 heroes at the bottom lane. They would love to find the gyrocopter, but as of now, unless Gyro goes back to the right, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Maybe just push the tower, but yeah, you see the farm of Leshrac. He does have a Yules coming along. Really no surprise there in his build, I assume.
Yeah. Chen, I mean, Chen's the big one. 3,000 net worth, just been solo pushing pretty much top lane until Everin came up there. But I like VP. You know what? If you're losing, getting picked off all over the map, just group up, get some towers. It's 2-for-1 tower trade, but still.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's when you're down like this, you only have so many options, right? So making the best of a bad situation, I think you can say. Lifestealer, the armlet is coming. I also saw, you see right there, Gyrocopter. He's got drums finished. He is working on the Ags. Again, an item we've seen, it's been an on and off item on different gyrocopter players.
I like this. They smoke up, and it looked like they were going to go bottom. Like they're pushing bottom, and then they're like, wait a minute. If we pressure this tier 2 and someone shows up, we can just kill them. But this is going to go straight back to middle.
Or they can kill Ramses. Iceberg.
Sentry.
Oh, the sentry's put down in the clutch time. The open wounds is applied. They cannot save him, it looks like. Deck's going to bring him right back. Damn, is he tanky and Diabolic Edict, the Pulse Nova and everything, but it's just not going to matter as far as return goes. That's a 370 gold streak going the way of no one.
Solo, just he know that Vizrin was gone, and just boom, place it down right there. Possibly looking for a lane ward as well, so double, and that works out super good for the Crystal main. This Chen, pretty farm still, but silent, untouched in the laning phase, really untouched.
And the Ags, again, we've seen this build every, so-and-so. Not every game by any means, but it definitely seems like kind of a player preference type deal. Maybe the game tempo. It is great for sieging earlier on as well. It's a nice tempo item in my opinion.
Yeah, and he got drums first, which I'm glad. I've seen some of the, not CIS, but like European teams just get Ags without that drum. You can't really fight early with that, by getting those drums a lot easier.
I mentioned Chen with the farm. I saw he had Max queued up earlier, but yeah, he is going the mech now.
They know. They need to keep their early game pressure, because right now, towers are going down. This Abba reasonably farmed with the Helmet of Dominator, but Ramses, he's starting to find a little more space. Still not the most.
Trying to get that Courier's Night Stalker. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. Can't run it down. So the tower, it's not the easiest tower kill. Shackle shot initially, just really harassing as much as they can. Keep them pushed back. And Night Stalker's going to cut the creep wave, so I don't know if Virtus Pro is going to get this tower. In fact, they are starting to fall back.
They're starting to TP bottom.
Oh, that would be why. Iceberg going to be brought back in. The shift connects. Silence here, though, with a call down. They could set up a turn. Iceberg, remember, he does plenty of damage. Get the Pulse Nova off. He's still alive at the time. Main Pulse Nova at the last segment. Roger with the Epicenter on top. They do take out Leshrac, and now Silent. He has to get the hell on out of here. He has a TP, but he's in a troublesome spot. Pasha goes down elsewhere, but Silent's going to be run on. The Rocket Barrage is not going to do a damn thing, it feels like, and they give the kill to Ramses. Sure enough.
That's a big turnaround right there. You get two of like the biggest, you do get the two biggest cores on the Radiant side. You lose your Ab at top, but he was making space top while he was dying. And no vision, right? That's the problem. You have two cores going for a kill. Neither of them are going to carry dust or sentries.
That's a good point. So Roger managing to live. Again, goes back to his Sand King place, still undefeated this season and trying to keep that streak alive. Always want to fly. Getting some pretty aggressive vision.
A hiding spot right behind the tree.
Still doesn't have his focus fire, but especially for a support Wind Ranger.
Yeah, he doesn't have items. Yeah,
not surprising.
He's not really going to do anything. He's just all about his power shot, shackle shots.
And not often we get to see that roll. Well, we don't get to see the hero often.
Yeah, we don't see the hero often. We've been seeing it middle now. You know, they throw a little bit of a, a curveball. They were talking about that on the panel. Stay in your comfort zone, but always want to fly. He's looked pretty comfortable with his support.
How about that pick up there? As you see the Yules finish on Leshrac, but Pipe on Night Stalker picked up as Roger. Okay, that splitter's going to hit the silence. Oh, it's daytime here, so, well, it can't actually get in range. Roger going to run. Maybe Iceberg going a little too early.
Well, the problem is it was daytime, right?
Yeah.
So he would have seen him running up the hill. He had to go right there. It was a good effort. I don't. That's a 1% play kind of thing.
So Pipe on Night Stalker, what do you think?
I like it. Right, they're just pushing early. They need to get everything. They need to get these outer tier 2 towers. They have to pressure Ramsey now. Now you want him stuck inside the base. Before you wanted him sitting behind towers. Now you just get him into the base because he's farming. He's got the armlet going for a Deso.
Yeah, no Radiant spill coming out on Lifestealer. Is that maybe the pace of the game, you think?
Yeah, he would be getting it too slow. The Deso, along with the rest of his heroes, right, just helps push towers solo by yourself as well. Speaking of solo, we just haven't, the Crystal main, just all about that aura right now.
Yeah, level 2 aura. As level 3 Frostbite does have that freezing field as well, and I still stand by, especially with support heroes. If she's able to channel that freezing field, in the trees somewhere,
it is a ton of damage.
It is a lot of damage and a decent slow on top of that. So do not underestimate that skill. Night Stalker going to keep the somewhat defensive build going. So I guess that's the benefit of getting a farmed Night Stalker like this. He's getting a lot of utility for the team. Evans Halberd queued up next.
You ever seen Aghanims on Crystal main? Me either, because it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. If you're watching, even if you're playing carry Crystal main, get a Crystallis. That Ags is so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem the strongest. Probably not going to see it here. Nagrata will avoid the Torrent, actually. Doesn't have darkness. It is daytime. And again, out of range, so good distraction of sorts. The homing missile going to connect here on the siege. He'll actually just destroy it instead.
Smart. Don't give away 200 free gold.
Yeah. Sand King's going to push out middle meanwhile, but Radiant team, FlyToMoon still in the area. You see the Mud Golem now taking over the Aphotic Shield, just harassing. No one's nearby with that Shadow Blade.
This one you get scary because he can pretty much just one-shot any of these supports. We're going to find out here.
He's going to throw out the turret, the ship as well. The borrow time already popped from Pasha. Solo, he was part of that shackle shot. He's going to be silenced up. The shield going out on him. The big epicenter once again from Roger. There is a different fight, though. Splitters in the back lines on a no one. It looks like so far nobody's dead somehow. No one. He's going to go for the TP. Can they stop that? No, they cannot. He does get out of shackle shot over here. Abaddon will eventually fall. Not the prettiest fight as Solo he avoids a splitter. They did lose Wind Ranger, of course. So far,
Run your
1 for
little
1.
legs. Oh.
It's going to be a 2 for 1. The Army's brought in, and here goes the tier 2 tower. So again, not the prettiest fight, but it works out for FlyToMoon.
I mean, that was like almost best case scenario. Roger got a two-man stun with a full epicenter on the back lines. They got no one out of the fight, right? Like, it was just Leshrac versus no one, 1v1, and he had to TP out, but doesn't quite work out for VP.
Not a fight that he wants to take. Yeah, Leshrac with that Pulse Nova, the Edict, etc. That's a lot of damage he's pumping out. So.
Cutting creeps here. Uh-oh.
Roger, did he do too much?
Blink up.
He's going to blink away, and it looks like he will get away, pinning a shackle. No, he's good.
Envision even of the tower. He's like, yep, only place you can't get me. A little bit of a taunt there, and there's the mech for Chen. If they had mech last fight, no one would have died there.
Oh, yeah.
And I like this instead of the Aghanims. It's a little bit slower, but now you just can siege towers no matter how long it takes, pardon me.
Bloodstone for Leshrac, going to be the next in line. You see he's well developed with the item. As a Eul's on top of that, so Bloodstone makes sense to you?
Yeah. Gives you mana, gives you that. You can just spam out waves. You never have to go back to base after that. Team fights, you're a lot tankier. It gives everything a Lesh needs. That's, I mean, Lesh and Storm, very similar heroes and in item choices. Not really play style, but.
Yeah. Gyrocopter. Okay, I was going to say, how's that axe coming along? There we go. We have our answer. The axe delivered for the Gyrocopter, so we'll see that side gunner coming into play now. No one.
Sentry ward.
There's a sentry on the dire side, so it sees a Wind Ranger. She's going to get cut initially, but again, that's support, and they keep her alive for the time being with that mech. Roger's in trouble. The shackle shot's up. The split earth and the follow-up is plenty for the kill. He is dead for 30 seconds. VP does not want to fight this. Clearly, they lose their initiation with the Sand King, and obviously FlyToMoon knows this. They're not going to be able to chase them down, though.
This is one of those games I think Aghanims on Night Stalker might be extremely good. Some like Crimson Guard Aghanims, you just get complete control of the map. It's not like VP has the solos on Crystal Maiden, right? We're used to seeing him on Nature's Prophet, heroes that move around the map and get good wards.
True.
Crystal Maiden is the worst hero doing that.
Not the most efficient, pretty slow moving herself, and we do see Roshan now being attempted. Going to send in that siege. As you mentioned, it is nighttime, so always scary fighting another Night Stalker. Oh, there's the Helmet Dominator. Or that was Chen, I guess, actually.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of counters, taking creeps. Obviously, Pasha feels bad because now he wants to fight, but he can't just go back and get another creep.
Yeah. So instead, they do prevent the Roshan, though. So in a sense, a minor victory there for Virtus Pro of what they do. But still down 5,000 net worth. That Leshrac topping the charts. His Bloodstone is coming pretty nicely, I'm sure. The mana regen talent picked up there, but yeah, the Bloodstone just about completed as we see.
And it's just a free lane for Silent. It was like 4 waves pushing in bottom. That's why a lot of the reason they just didn't want to go for Roche. He TP'd and defended it. Got a ton of gold now. They're ready to go back in. FlyToMoon is.
Pasha in the front with that aquatic shield, the life stealer bomb on an Ice Sucker. He's pretty beefy though. He's got that pipe. He's going to use that to his fullest, absorbing plenty of damage. Solo gets turn kill. The send back right there brings back Night Stalker, and they get the kill with that X. Ramses though sitting on top of Silent. The Rage helping him against that rocket barrage. They're running. I hear the epicenter going off. Is in the back. There's a hand gun just before that, but the epicenter once again coming through from Roger. However, Iceberg still doing plenty with a Pulse Nova, taking away Ramses though on top of him. He'll just deny himself with the Bloodstone, but Ramses in trouble now. Not Grana looking to finish stop. He fought back for this. Great Aphotic Shield as well as the toggles of that Armless Mansion. The power shot through. They take it out. Ramses gonna go down as well, and no one will fall. That's a complete cleanup in favor of FlyToMoon. A triple kill for Silent to top it all off.
Yep, always want to fly and non-Grata both bought back, but you clear out all the cores right there, and now you get a pretty, well, not free Roshan, you had to buy back for it, but yeah, I mean, you get a Roshan that won't be contested anymore. That's so good, just the 2 buybacks right there. Obviously, the later the game goes, it's so hard to buy back. In the early game, buying back feels like nothing. You're completely okay with that.
Solo. Oh, that shackle. Now it's a support
like
Wind Ranger. I don't know if she's getting this kill. The call down. Yes, it will hit, and that's a slow, and that's a kill. So the mega kill streak now adding up for Silent on top of the Roshan kill. Secondary tower probably going down.
And this is it, the pressure, man. I like the fight. Once again, Roger is getting such good initiations, but they're behind.
Yeah, they are. And Thinking about the last fight, too, there was that crazy interaction. You know, we'll have to keep in mind throughout future fights. It's the send back from
X.
Chen, but he got X. So great heads up by no one right there. Clearly seeing that and actually successfully got the initial kill, Night Stalker. But the buyback, as you're pointing out, clearly worth it.
Always want to fly. He's so broke, but he's doing so much with these shackle shots. He's getting 2-man shackles every fight. He just got, I mean, it's just solo, but you get a pick off. The Crystal Main's off the map. You don't have the aura for the rest of your team. Yeah.
This has got to be one of the more underfarmed games we've seen this event for Ramses. He just continues to struggle. BKB finished on Gyrocopter.
It might be the most underfarmed he's been.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has the Radiance to farm a little quicker. He's going that Desto so he can fight. And I mean, Lifestealer in general just cannot catch up. That's why you always see him try to, you know, just give him a couple minutes to free farm, and he has not gotten that at all.
That's one of the big reasons why the Radiance has naturally picked up on him, of course. So speaking of that, I believe I saw Abaddon had the Radiance queued up, so he's kind of making up, or that's the idea. Now that itself is still a while away, of course. So.
Yeah, he just wants to run in and get that, the mischance aura on all the heroes while he's ulting, you know, cancel a lot of that damage out.
Yeah. Chen, no more Guardian Greaves, changing his mind back to the Axe. At this point. Oh, the smoke on up.
VP didn't see it, but you know, Chen showing middle. Like Chen is good at pushing the side lanes. When you see him middle, you're like, something's up.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna find Solo, get the free support kill. Who's
Bloodstone
down
charge
there on that net worth? But you're right, it is a Bloodstone charge for Leshrac, so back up to 12 charges now.
Yep. Feeling a little bit bad when you die twice in a row with that. Oh, sorry, no fear. He's getting run down, but his team not close, and now Ramsey's just gonna farm. It was nighttime, didn't have the vision.
Keeps out of range, so he's good. But you talk about that Bloodstone. It's not a great feeling, you know,
losing
that those deaths. But
he's
again,
back up to normal.
Up
almost.
to 12, well, just about.
Almost.
14
the old
now.
Bloodstone.
The
normal.
old Bloodstone.
Yeah.
There you go. You see Virtus Pro trying to keep pressure at the top lane, that being no one specifically.
Is that Shackle bugged?
You're unknown. It looks
cool.
I
like it. It's just
it's a new cosmetic coming to you shortly. A good old Shackle cosmetic.
Tier 1 for Tier 2, not the best trade for VP, and they might go for the base here.
Like I said earlier, making the best of a bad situation, but you're right, they are going base. They have an Aegis still on Leshrac, so why not? They're feeling pretty cozy. Doesn't have the BKB just yet, so keep that in mind. Ella Gyro does.
Nice.
Torrent combo.
That's a nice little thing. You see, they save the glyph until Iceberg use his edict. Always save it. If you're versus Lesh, always save the glyph for that.
Lesh is caught. Well, frozen LE. He's going to throw out that split earth, though. The edict ticking around. As that Pulse Nova on top of that. Borrow time still ready for Pasha. Pops a play, another kill on Leshrac. Quickly, there is that Borrow time, the heal. They do get the kill on Leshrac, but now he's coming back up with the H. Remember, called out zone and out VP. Nobody dead on VP's side, though, although Pasha's getting very low with no more Borrow time. So they're going to go for the free melee reaction. They back up after this. It looks like it. That's the idea. Lee Silent, though. Open wounds on him, and here we go once again. The epicenter from Roger. The setback not going to be enough. They kill Gyrocopter in time. Nograta, he's trying to TP out, as is always want to fly. Can they get out? No, the freeze on Nograta will stop him. At least Wind Ranger gets out. No Fear probably did as well. Going for the turn kill, actually. That would have been something, but he dies on top of that. Now, they got the melee racks, though.
It's a big one.
So, yeah, pretty big as mentioned.
But now, VP has a lot of room on the map to make some tough, you know, get some wards in that bottom jungle. Even when Chen comes back alive, right? Not a hero until he gets all his creeps back. Gyro's dead for 40. You have to get wards onto the map, and you have to take over 2 of the 3 lanes.
Yeah. Leshrac resurrecting quickly after that death. Thanks to that Bloodstone, continues to be the top farmer in the game net worth-wise on Leshrac, but Kunkka and Lifestealer doing their best to make up. There's the BKB finish. Like, we saw the BKB on Gyrocopter that last fight, too. It is a pretty powerful item in this game.
Yep, you just pop it, run at them. They don't have enough damage, right? Both their physical damage is melee. All 3 of them, actually. Like, they run forward, you just pop a BKB, and if they try to hit you, they're just going to die to the backline damage.
How about Abaddon with that Blade Mail? Saw that coming into play last fight as well. You know, it seems like a great item in general to have against the Gyrocopter, Leshrac especially.
Like you said, it makes Gyro feel so bad, right? Like, he could be fighting someone else on the map. You pop that Blade Mail, flat cannon hits you. It hurts.
His life starts dipping down. So, but now he's queued up that Radiance, as we were mentioning earlier. Again, still going to be a bit of time, but it feels like we are in a, I don't want to say a rush here for FTM, but, you know, give it another 5 clean minutes for Virtus Pro or so, and they could start climbing back into this game, especially once that Radiance is picked up. And Kunkka, always deadly once he starts enhancing his items.
Yep. He is forced to go BKB. Not the best item on a Kunkka, but you have to get it. Versus this Lash, versus these shackle shots, these instant shackle shots, you're forced to get it at this point.
That's a good point, actually. Do they have a a pipe or anything like that? I don't think they do on Virtus Pro side.
Virtus Pro, no.
They Abaddon's obviously not going that style here, and
it could be the next Roger item. Obviously, he's got the blink. You want to get like blink Ewells or blink 4-staff first, and then it's up to you. Here we go, clearing out these shrines before the next Roche. Always a smart idea.
Picking up an Alpha Wolf for this. Of course, that enhanced damage kicking in, so smart idea there. Non-Grata. He's in the front lines as always. Butterfly queued up now for the Gyro, and there is the BKB finished.
I like this. He has a double damage. They might be looking to fight right here. You get a boat off onto somebody, that double damage hit can definitely still one-shot a decent chunk of these players.
Looking for an angle. Of course, FTM, though, is not going to overcommit necessarily. You have Leshrac just sitting in the front lines. No more Aegis or anything like that. It's still going to be at least a couple of minutes or so before another Roshan will be coming back up. So instead, clear out the jungle, and yeah, I don't think FTM is really going to be forcing this.
No,
looks.
You don't want to, especially against a Kunkka. You never know. Where is he? Shadowblade behind us, in front of us?
Can they stop that? No. Gets out. So thought for a second they had it fine there, but
you also see why Roger gets that first pick sanking. Why it's so good. Even in the, I mean, this is a losing game right now for him, and he's been hitting two-man, not just stuns, two-man stun epicenters every single fight. It's just impressive.
It absolutely is. Definitely got to agree there. But as you also pointed out, it is right now a losing game for VP. But you know what? They are just coming off a game where they were down similar amount against Mineski right there. And obviously in the long run, they came through. And I think a lot of it, this game is going to go back to the big crits on Kunkka. We saw in a previous series yesterday.
One-shot in gyros.
Yeah, one-shot in gyros, etc. So once that build-up happens, it can definitely take place. So Night Stalker, Heaven's Halberd, though, another great item to have.
It's not quite as good in this game, right? Because it's obviously better versus range DPS,
True.
and it's all man unless you're putting on solo, which you're not. But still, it's always going to be good as well, just the evasion in general, because there's not many MKB heroes on VP as well, so he just wants to frontline and tank, absorb a ton of damage.
Information here with that Invis rune. Yeah, some people coming in. Gyrocopter, one of those. Chen as well.
Wow.
And there is the opening. They find a perfect chance on Roger. Yules, there's no chance to get out. So easy kill. Ramsey is now, can he get out? That's the question. He's going to go for the Rage TP. That's a long TP. He does get out of there in time, but
the armor, plenty of armor, luckily, gets out of there. And yeah, neither team really has, BKB piercers at all. Or, pardon me, magic immune piercers.
Yeah. Obviously couldn't stop him at that point, but
it's a long Roche, by the way, too. I just want to say, it just happened. Oh, wow. It is a very long Roshan. Looks like about 3 minutes, so I think FlyToMoon just keeps doing what they're doing, right? They're just making sure all the waves are always shoved in. They're farming the enemy team jungle so they can't farm it. You just continue to do that until next Roche, and I think that's when you make your big stand, unless an opportunity presents itself.
No, of course, yeah. Something about that net worth graph that frankly just looks pretty. You know, FlyToMoon, just the gradual raise and the occasional spike for them, when a team fight goes well, so.
Pulse Nova damage, plus he just picked up his Shivas, so.
Oh, yeah.
Shiva's just so good in this game. I mean, it's a little bit more damage, but it's mostly that armor. Against the Deso, it pretty much just negates that Deso that the Lifestealer picked up.
That's true. He did go that Deso as mentioned. No Radiance this game for Lifestealer. Speaking of that, Abaddon, 2,300 gold saved up, so again, not a fast Radiance by any means, and still has a bit more time before that will be taking place. Now, if we continue at this pace of a game, ideally would have it before another fight, but you can tell FlyToMoon they would love to do a Roshan here as Arcane Rune's going to be picked up by Non-Grata. They'll just pop the darkness.
That was so smart. They wanted that on Iceberg, like an Arcane Rune on Lesh, but unfortunately he was going to deny with the Hellbear, so just pick it up.
That as well, and use the darkness as a result. But again, FTM, is it safe to say they're probably just waiting for another Roshan here?
I believe so, unless a gigantic opportunity really comes out, it's going to go.
Okay, this Lifestealer, he's not the tankiest Lifestealer ever, but
Nullifier, by the way, that's a third item Nullifier in the Lifestealer. That's something a little bit different. They need the damage. They're not bringing anyone down that quickly.
Against these BKBs as well.
Yep.
You got Leshrac and Gyro both with one.
Yeah, I mean, you have you don't need the blink, right? Roger blinks in, you hop out. They're not going to get BKBs off.
As we see, still no Roshan for a bit longer. VP thought there might have been a chance, but that's not the case. It is daytime now. No darkness just yet for Night Stalker, but gotta be soon. However, they will find a free Wind Ranger, apparently.
I think would be a great item this game, especially on, even though there's a Nullifier already on Ramses, I think on Leshrac an A on disc would be amazing. Even versus that Nullifier. Just because you're against that Sand King, the initial burst of damage, it makes him committed onto you as well instead of your Gyro.
Yeah.
I just like Andisk in general. It's a one-of-a-kind item.
And I can agree with you too, even though we'll hold that thought, because here we go. They're going to jump in. Actually, Roger will pick it up. Light Strike be burst down, but out comes an All of Fire. He will get the hand of God to stay alive for the time being, but not nearly enough. He does have a buyback, though. He'll use it immediately. They get the kill on the Sand King, as well as Crystal Maiden. The Blade Mills up from Posh as he runs away with the Pearl Time active. No one in the backlands. His BKB's wearing off. He says, sayonara, nothing more I can do. He sends out the Ghost Ship. It's just too late, though, and Abaddon bites back, and Roshan respawns, as you mentioned right there. As well, they're going to get a free Roshan out of this. A good fight for FTM in the end.
Yeah, and this is the biggest thing. They're going to get this Rosh. Silent's going to go farm one wave, and he's going to have a butterfly. And they definitely are going to want to push with that.
And look at that juicy rune right there. Double damage just spawns.
You see what they're thinking? He's like, I want to get this. He's going to bottle it up. Yep. Thank you.
Has
good
the bottle. Going to take that. Use some charges. There's the butterfly. Has the double damage.
This is a scary push, very scary push. Obviously, ulti's still up, boat, very short cooldown, so it's already back up. They still have Epicenter. This is one of those where FTM could feel confident, and you just never know what Roger can do.
Iceberg pushing out the lane. No one, again, they have that Tidebringer cleave. It's always got potential to go for the big hit throughout these fights, but FTM going to instead push out some lanes. It looks like they want to push out the top lane as well. They have the top and the middle, of course, they still need to break into. So is that the strategy here, you think? Just push in both lanes and just gradually work up? Yeah, definitely. You always know bottom's going to be pushing in your favor since you got that melee rack. So if no one goes down there, naturally, it'll just be in your favor. So you just dominate top, middle lane, and all you need is one mistake. One mistake from a Kunkka, he's dead. You just push a base, they have nothing. There's that Daedalus that we've been mentioning, so has one of them now at least. Of course, the second one is definitely very possible as well. That could be coming out, but has the one. Ags finished the one. Chen, and speaking of a great timing, if they're going to be pushing into the base here. Get a Granite Golem somehow. They're not really looking for one right now. They know the Ancients were just killed by the Gyro, so he's like, well, I got to wait a minute. There's some over there on the dire side I see. It's a long walk. No one. Just going to cleave it out. Oh, a little funky there on the angle. He had a chance to Yules right there, actually. What do they get, a Black Dragon? Yeah, he's going to take over that. Not the, I mean, it's good for split pushing. This one you can, like, if you all want to push middle, you can send it top, just put the fire on the ground and split push it. Yeah. It's nice for that, but if they want to straight up 5-on-5 fight, you do need the Golem. Oh, awkward. I saw on the minimap, I think Gyrocopter might have blocked the bottom dire ancient spawn, so whoopsies. Sorry. Yeah, so, oh well. Whatever, your support, yeah. You don't need that, do you? Octarine for the last track. Spell lifesteal, very good on that hero. A lot of people, oh, the cooldowns, all that for him. That lifesteal. No, the lifesteal's what matters, yeah, in his case, for sure. So having that. Yeah, this is, now FTM, again, don't need to force it necessarily, but you have to use this Aegis. Like, everything's coming together. We've talked about with the Butterfly, the Ags on Shen, etc. And they are moving in. You mentioned the bottom lane kind of naturally pushing in. There's the middle push. So FTM slowly making their way. VP, all they can just sit in their base. All they can do is just sit in their base and cleave out constantly. Man, some damage there, yeah. I'd like to see that one of the Chen creeps top right. If you pressure in top lane, but here we go. There we go indeed. No one is going to get caught. The Clipper creep initially saving Roger. Only stuck Jarkov in the back. There's a call down, put down. Ramsey's pumping the range. The flat cannon auto attack Jar's trying to fly out though. Borrowed time on Pasha, not used just yet. Actually, Hannah got a reaction coming out for the Chen. We'll save everyone for the time being. Roger is dead, by the way. He can out buy back. They also catch no one as well, and he's dead for 80. He buys back immediately. No BKB on him. No BKB, though. The Tier 3 tower still alive. No fear. He's going to TP out, actually. He gets out. The X is used on Night Stalker instead. The no fire put up. He dropped the gem on the outside. Oh, that was so smart. Yeah. Oh, my God. How about that? He drops it. It's picked up by teammates. A good heads up. What looks like Iceberg gets it, or somebody did. That's one of those plays. Like, a lot of people, you just don't make under pressure, but he does. Just drops the gem so his teammate doesn't lose it. Oh, God. That feels good. That's just a good Dota play. Feels good, man. 12,000 net worth lead. Also feels good for FlyToMoon. Now, objective-wise, it didn't really get any objective, to be fair. The Tier 3 tower is still up. They got a buyback out of Kunkka, though. The bottom was pushed in. They got the range Drax, actually, bottom. Like, creeps ended up getting it. So they got that a little bit. They damaged middle a lot. They know that the glyph is down. So they can try to push against Silent almost 25. Okay. Might just wait, but... I'm trying to think, does FlyToMoon, obviously they're still in a very heavy lead, but Gyro, he's getting the Lincolns.
It's going to be good for the Ag. Obviously, super good against the X marks the spot right now. Because Crystal Maiden can't just run up and cancel it. She'll just die immediately. Roger doesn't want to commit a blink stun for it, so
yeah,
I like this Linken's pickup a lot. And now the Satanic, obviously, with that Aghanims, you get double the heal. Feels damn good.
Pretty good. And then if it really goes like game, the Divine Rapier could come out, but that's still a whiles off, of course. Help both sides potential for it, let's be honest. Kunkka definitely wouldn't mind us as well in some cases. So does Pasha have that Radiance? I assume he has that Radiance by now, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna hope so, or else they are in a...
That's really been
a struggle.
Okay, he doesn't have a Radiance. Never mind. He actually even changed it up. He's going Lotus Orb, it looked like.
Yep, they know.
So.
Yeah, I think that they're all in on this Kunkka getting a big crit, pretty much just keeping him alive. We saw he got picked off one time, even while Glimmered and Shadowbladed.
I was about to say, though, the Aegis just about to despawn, and sure enough, it does right there. So, yeah, they push in a little bit more, but FTM can't really break through the base again. Gonna have to fall back. But as we see, and we have seen a couple times in this event, Virtus Pro having Kunkka decently farmed, it's always gonna be tough truly pushing into that.
Yeah, you have to commit some time, but I mean, FlyToMoon's only going up, right? They started that last fight at 11K lead. They're now up to a 15,000 gold lead. But Kunkka, get 6 slots, just that one crit.
That's what it goes back to, right? Now this is what Virtus Pro needs to be doing, but it's almost like, what is this really? Is this like doing enough to truly get you the victory in the end? Or is it just stalling the inevitable? It almost feels like for FTM right here. But again, it's what they have to be doing, so understandable.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard. There's Bottom just pushing in. No one even really down there, except for that Night Stalker. Arcane Rune. One of the best Arcane Rune here is obviously Leshrac, very good, but he's not running all the way down for it.
Yeah. So Night Stalker will pick it up. He's working on a BKB, it looks like, so wouldn't mind having one of those himself. There's the Octarine core you were mentioning earlier. Finished by Leshrac now, so that much more difficult to kill.
Look at that 2.8k HP just in general. You Pulse Nova going off with the plus 50 Pulse Nova damage talent as well. There you go, no fear. He's got an army now. A big army.
Yes, he does. That cooldown reduction, also nice for the items, too. Has several items that would benefit from it.
Oh, yeah.
So Iceberg has that working. We have some kind of initiation. Roger is simply counter-warding, or trying to at least, but that's the awkward thing again. You can see them doing it. Now they catch Abaddon with the Yules. They're going to go for him initially. Splitter with the Yules. There's Iceberg popping his BKB as he was X there. He's just running in with a Pulse Nova now. Remember, with the Octarine core, healing plenty.
Oh, Roger
He's fine for the time being. There's Roger ultimate, though. Who do they catch? Looks like winner. The heal's not going to be safe with the hand of but outside, they're sitting on top of Pasha with that Rocket Barrage. The flat cannon auto attack. The Brow time keeping him full life, though, on Pasha. And they will be able to reset on Virtus Pro's side. Wind Ranger has a buyback if they find the opportunity for it.
I was about to say, VP, I do not think you want to run up that hill at nighttime. And they do not. It looked like they thought about it, but still, FTM, they can look. Maybe someone accidentally farms top, you kill him, but
yeah.
VP still playing smart. But the gold lead, it's still going up for FTM.
It is, you're right. So FTM is playing
is.
smart indeed. Ramses gets caught. There's Roger once again trying to save, but Ramses, I don't think he's getting out of this one. No, he goes down dead for 80. Roger also picked off. Double kill for no fear, actually. There's Roger buyback. Yeah. As you mentioned, Ramses has one. Probably has to if they want to defend. There is the buyback. And he's keeping a tier 3 range track does go down already. Pasha, borrow time is back up. Good to go. Looks like they catch Nokrata initially, but again, this is a pretty beefy Night Stalker. Heaven's Halberd, Pipe, etc. Keeping his ground. There goes Iceberg running in the midst. Once again, the Pulse Nova. Diabolic Edict choosing that Shivas. Pasha heals up with the brow time, but the kill Roger second time. He is staying dead this time. The ghost ship. The rum is drank for the dire side, but they're just sitting on top of them. The FS bomb on top of Leshrac, though. Leshrac made a follower here with the Nullfire. Pulls it back over the expert spot. Yes, they get the kill on him. The buyback from Crystal Maiden as she died in the midst of the fight. No one. That would be a tieback, by the way. It's going to go down. The rocket rush on top of him. The Aphotic in the last second. The homing missile connects. No one down. It goes. No one. Down goes Ramses. And that should do it for game number 1. FlyToMoon will take it over Virtus Pro here in this best of 3.
They never didn't have the lead. I don't know, that was Pat Grammer, but they just kept the lead the entire game. They didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe one minor one here or there. But when you're not making major mistakes against VP at a major, you know you're playing good. That's my thing. I love regional Dota. You know I love NA Dota, and I talked about, you know, BSJ. I mean, his team was definitely way worse than EG. They won him. I wouldn't say FlyToMoon is way worse than VP, but I mean, VP is the favorite, but you see it right there.
Well, you know, we were talking about this amongst ourselves before we came on here for the series.